in which participants had cold virus dripped into their nostrils, and those getting enough high-quality sleep, which is 8 or more hours per day, were a lot less likely to catch the cold. They were more likely to be resistant. And this is just like a diagram of our normal sleep cycle. So I mentioned, the most restorative, deepest sleep occurs in the first 2/3 of the night. So we have, immune function maintenance, detox, repair, restoration, all kinds of connections being reinforced and secured, and stuff you don't need being cleared out from your brain. So, and then after this, there's dreaming, but this part is really, you need this. You can't really survive without this. So if you have interrupted sleep, it could be a real problem, right? Because you're missing out on this deepest, most restorative part.
And that's in the first 2 hours, you said?
The first 2.5 hours, yeah. So how would we resolve sleep difficulties then? How do we normally handle this in conventional medicine? Sleeping pills. What else? Anything else? Yeah, so drugs, unfortunately, alcohol, okay. Unfortunately, that will also impair sleep quality. Yeah, so drugs aren't the answer. We know that sleeping pills like hypnotics, they're associated with a huge number of deaths in the US alone.
What's a hypnotic? Is that a sleeping pill?
Yeah, it's like Ambien, Vilnesta, etc. Restoril, all kinds of. But we have 300,000 to 500,000 excess deaths due to these sleeping pills. And even those taking less than 18 pills a year have a huge increase in death and actually in cancer compared to if you didn't take it. So that means if you take 1.5 pills a month, then you have 260% increased risk of death, which is quite shocking. So what about sleep hygiene? How do we actually, so this should be the first step in addressing any sleep disorder or difficulty, okay? And often, doctors, they don't have the time or the training to go into this, but this should always be the first step, regardless of which type of insomnia the patient is having, which type of sleep difficulty, or how it's characterized. So, can you guys think of anything? So the sleep hygiene is like basically good sleeping habits, right? Good practices to ensure healthy sleep. What would be a good sleep hygiene suggestion or practice?
It could be like the routine you do to prepare to go to sleep.
Yeah, so you could have some kind of unwinding routine to help you relax before you go to sleep. Right? So, for one thing, you should stick to a regular sleep schedule, if possible, even on weekends, because the body has like a clock, and it kind of tells you, I'm used to going to sleep at this time, so it kind of winds itself down. And if you keep on switching this, it kind of messes with your clock. You should exercise does help, but just not right before sleep, because then you could get a shot of adrenaline, and it can keep you up a little bit. So the best time is like morning or afternoon. So obviously try not to stress about things, and you can consider doing something relaxing, just help you wind down, like listening to some relaxing music or reading something relaxing or boring. Either one works. Read this lecture. I'm sure you'll become very heavy-lidded after a few minutes. So you should make your bedroom quiet and comfortable, and avoid large meals or sugary meals before bedtime. Just have your bedroom reserved for just sleep. You shouldn't really work on your computer while you're in bed, or really do anything else, because your mind should associate your bedroom with sleep, right? So, or your bed at least. So when you're going to your bed, it sends a signal. It's time to go to sleep. And if you don't fall asleep within 15 to 20 minutes, you should get up and go to another room, try a relaxing activity, and then only return when you're feeling drowsy. And also try to avoid naps, because that can interfere with your normal sleep cycle. And then obviously avoid stimulants, especially close to bedtime. If you spend time outdoors in the morning. As soon as your eyes see sunlight in the morning, it starts the production of this sleep hormone called melatonin, right? And that's one of the hormones that signal our body that it's time to go to sleep. So if we get early exposure to sunlight, it triggers a production, so that by the time it's time to go to sleep, we'll have enough accumulated that our body will naturally want to go to sleep at that point. And then we should avoid bright lights close to bedtime, from like TVs, computer screens, etc. And bedroom should be quite dark. And also for those waking up to go to the bathroom, just avoid fluids about an hour before. Any questions about that? Let's see. No? Good. Okay. So remember the lifestyle factors influencing immune function. Who remembers? What's a lifestyle factor that influences our immune function in general? Like exercise. Yeah, exercise, sleep, diet. Good. Okay, so we have nutrition and supplements. We have exercise, stress, sleep, state of mind, and the mind-body connection. That was yesterday's talk. And so now I'm going to summarize for you everything that I've covered in the 2 days. Okay, so this is really valuable. You'll have a slide to refer to, so you can know exactly what to do. So foods. Who remembers the foods that support our immune system? Broccoli. Blueberries. Kiwis. Good.
One that starts with the C.
Seaweed?
Seaweed salad. Yeah. Chlorella. Yeah. Cruciferous vegetables. Yeah. So good. So we have all these guys. You guys mentioned a lot of them: mushrooms, seaweed, kiwis, etc. And then we have herbs and supplements. Who can think of some of those that cause vitamin D, echinacea?
Oregano.
Okay, ginger, garlic. Good. Yeah. So we have. Yeah. So we have all these things that can help out, and a lot of these things they're quite safe, and not very expensive. So. Quite valuable tools.
No warning about suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
What was it, like,
I mean, the only thing is that with the supplements here, you need to make sure it's high quality, but other than that, it's quite safe. So we have so there were some recipes in part 1, but if you want more recipes, healthy recipes, these are really good resources. And what about exercise? So how much exercise do we need again?
Half hour to an hour.
At least 20 minutes. You're sticking to the bottom rung. 90 minutes. That's right. Okay. So an hour and a half. No cheating. Moderate intensity activity daily, right? So that means Pilates, actually, brisk walking, biking, etc. So this will all contribute to your. This is just throughout the day, right? You don't have to get this all at once. And then, or you can do 40 minutes of vigorous activity. Some examples there, like biking, walking uphill, or running. And then what we should do is gradually increase exercise intensity and duration to improve our endurance. So we want to do it gradually so we don't overexert ourselves. And then try not to drop below half an hour 5 days a week. It's like the bare minimum we should all be getting. And also, if you're an athlete, you should avoid prolonged periods of sustained strenuous physical activity if possible. And if you can take a short break, if you're doing something really strenuous, like lifting weights or just running fast, just a short break will help you recover. So we have the sleep hygiene that we already talked about, all summarized here. And then we have the stress coping, state of mind, improving toolbox, which is what we talked about yesterday. So we have things like breathing exercises in this category. Okay, so you can actually, just by controlling your breathing, activate nerves that signal your body to actually kind of to signal your body to actually calm down and to harmonize kind of its processes to become more efficient. So all you need to do really is breathe shallowly and naturally, 5 to 6 seconds for inhalation and the same for exhalation. And then it's important to try to keep the rate as constant as possible. So don't breathe quickly and then slowly, or stop or make any pauses, but try to keep it smoothly at a constant rate. And then you practice for a few minutes a day. So you can do that right now if you guys like. Everyone can close their eyes, and if you just try to breathe again, not too deeply, but just over a long time, okay? So just count silently 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. In, out. In, out. Okay, open your eyes. How do you guys feel? Good? any difference? Anything noticeable? Okay, good. So yeah, actually the studies show that this works quite quickly, so the hope is that if you practice just a few minutes a day, it'll have long-lasting changes. And don't worry about the little things, try to stay positive. This study is showing that those more positive state of mind have a much lower risk of becoming sick. Mozart has been shown to even help with allergies, which is quite amazing. I talked about this in the part 1, but basically they took people with latex allergies, and the reaction they got to latex was greatly reduced after a little bit of Mozart, which didn't work with other composers and other pieces of music. Actually, it's quite interesting, but it kind of, music is quite, it used to be used by ancient physicians practicing, and it's actually has quite a profound effect on the body. So it does make sense scientifically, and yeah, or at least some Kenny G if you're feeling anxious, right? So work seriously onto your sense of humor. Watch a funny video if you have to. It's not a no laughing matter, right? And you have to laugh. You can't just watch a video. It's the laughing that makes it work, not the video. Okay, so did we achieve the learning objectives for today? Did we gain an understanding of how your lifestyle decisions affect your immune system function?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. Are we familiar with simple low to no cost tools and practices like exercise and sleep hygiene to improve and balance our immune system?
Yes.
Good. And are we aware of the supplement complexity issues and the need for guidance? Good. Any questions on that? Great. We're done.